Hey, welcome to episode 30. Peaks and valleys, final year or new job. Both expand you. There's this time that always catches me off guard. It's when something goes well. Totally everything feels fab. And then, in a split second, the world goes quiet again. You get the email, the grade, the internship, or job offer. You close your laptop, and suddenly you're just in your room, with your same brain, your same nervous system, your same doubts still hanging around. Like, they didn't get the memo. I remember sitting on my bed after a peak moment, shoes still on, phone face down, thinking, wait, why don't I feel safer? Because I thought success would feel like arrival, like the peak would lock the door behind me, like I'd finally be out of the woods. But instead I felt this pressure creep in, the unspoken rule, which goes something like this. You did good, but keep it going. Now don't lose it. Next, prove it wasn't a fluke. And I hated how fast my joy turned into a performance review. That's what we're walking through today on Pivot Era Podcast. And I want to bring in a book that names this dynamic in such a simple way it almost feels obvious after you hear it. The book is called Peaks and Valleys by Spencer Johnson. The premise is basically this. Life has peaks and it has valleys, and both are part of the deal. No spoiler alert, you can still go and read it. It's short to read as well. But what hit me about this book is the way it frames the valley. Not as a mistake, as a place with its own purpose, a place that changes you. Because in Gen Z work culture, which actually spills across all generations, and the more I think about it, the valley gets treated like a personal failure. If you're not leveling up fast enough, something must be wrong. If you don't feel inspired, you must be lazy. If you're uncertain during a career pivot, you must be behind. And I want to say, gently but clearly, that story is not the truth. It's a script, and you're allowed to refuse it. And this isn't just about work. If you're a student in your final year of university, you know this valley too. It's a strange season. On the outside, people act like it should be exciting. Last year, final stretch and all that. You must be so happy. Right. But internally, it can feel like standing on a threshold that keeps moving. Deadlines, dissertation, group projects, exams, job applications that ask for experience you're still trying to get, friends making plans, leaving, staying, changing, and this quiet fear that hums under everything. What if I don't land well? What if everyone else is more prepared? What if I chose the wrong path? That's not you being dramatic. That's you being human at the edge of change. Guys, we have to breathe. Just take a breath here. The thing is, here's the part we don't admit out loud. Sometimes we chase peaks because we think they'll finally silence imposter syndrome or whatever name you give it. Like, if we get the title, the salary, the grad scheme, the acceptance letter, the perfect next step, the doubt will pack its bags. But doubt is sneaky. It finds new corners, so the peak becomes less like a view and more like a ledge. You're up there, but you're tense, trying to stay up, trying not to fall, trying to make the moment prove something permanent. And the valley, ironically, can become the only place your body finally unclenches. Not because it's easy, but because it's honest. I've had valleys that looked like nothing was happening. No big announcements, no wins to post, no clean identity to introduce myself with. Just quiet days, like rewriting plans, second-guessing, learning something new and feeling embarrassingly beginner. And sometimes I kept trying to escape those seasons. I treated them like mistakes to correct. But if Spencer Johnson is right, if peaks and valleys are both part of our growth, then the valley isn't a detour. It's training. Sounds pretty neat, doesn't it? It's where your capacity expands, not your resume. Your ability to handle uncertainty without self-abandoning. Your ability to be unseen without panicking. Your ability to keep showing up without instant feedback. That's not small. That's foundational. And if you're in your final year, this matters. This season isn't only testing what you know. It's building who you'll be when there isn't a syllabus anymore. When you have to make choices without a rubric. Cool word. Right. Just couldn't resist a peak moment. Rubric is all about a set of instructions or rules. So when you're the one deciding what enough looks like, that's expansion. So here's a gentle act of rebellion for today for all of us. Whatever we are doing, feel into this. What if you stopped ranking your seasons? Or what if you stopped asking, is this impressive? And started asking, is this really expansion for me? Because expansion doesn't always feel like confidence. Sometimes it feels like friction, like you're shedding a version of you that used to work, but doesn't fit anymore. And yeah, it can feel like a valley. If you're listening right now and you're in one of those in-between places, in a pause, a pivot, a slow rebuild, or a final year limbo perhaps, I want to ask you something soft. What if this valley you're in is where you become someone more real, not more polished, not more palatable, more steady, more you? And another question, what's one small step you can take without needing the whole map? Not 10 steps, not a total life overhaul. One honest step. Send the application. Write the paragraph. Email the tutor. Ask the friend. Make the budget. Take the walk. Book the trip. Rest on purpose. Trust me, valley steps count. They're quiet, but they're powerful. And if you're on a peak right now, that's really good and to be celebrated. So hugs from afar for that. But what I do ask is, please don't turn your happiness into a demand. Can you let it be a moment you enjoy without making it a standard you must maintain? Because peaks can be beautiful, but they can also make us afraid. And you deserve joy that doesn't come with a threat. Sit back and enjoy it, just like you deserved. So here's the line I want to leave you with. The one this whole episode is built around. Peak or valley, it's still expansion. Your life is not only growing when it looks impressive, it's growing when it's honest. Thanks for being here with me on Pivot Era Podcast. If this episode held you in any way, follow the show, so you have it when your brain gets loud and your heart needs something steady. And if someone you love is in the valley right now, why not send them this episode? It might help them. And importantly, just take care of yourself. You are worth it. This is an AI voice-powered podcast shared by humans who simply want to connect across generations and normalize the art of starting again. New episodes drop every Wednesday and Sunday. Share it with someone who's navigating their own pivot or who needs to hear that beginnings aren't failures. They're growth.